so I forgot my reading glasses. I'm Craig. I was his roommate for like 20 plus years. And I haven't been in a gay bar in I can't tell you how long. There are all these artistic folks here and stuff, and here I am. Chris's mom was in a really serious auto accident. I think it was about a week or two after he passed, and she is still recovering. She's like 80 something, and so she was not able to travel, and she's in kind of waiting to get a replacement shoulder. And so I've been in touch with her. She wanted me to read a couple of things at this occasion. So if you'll forgive my occasional stumbles, here we go. This is called En Voyage. There's a ship sailing onto a harbor, to a haven of comfort and rest. It's a ship of God's fashion and making, and its voyage by Him will be blessed. It's part of the silence and beauty, with the Master Himself in command, as with dignity truly majestic it sailed out of sight of all land. There will always be clear skies above it. There will always be calmness below. There will never be storms to harass it, for the Master is on, you know. And His wisdom will carry it safely to the port of His infinite peace, where the light of His love will protect it with a blessing that never will cease. You've watched it sail onward and outward with a tear of regret in your eye, for a loved one was sailing upon it, and there's grief when you're saying goodbye. But your tears would be tears of rejoicing, and your heart would be happy and free, if you could look for only a moment on that ship that is sailing the sea. For the one you have loved is at leisure, with no worry or trouble or care. There's contentment beyond understanding in the way God's passengers fare. And you know from your own observation that the sailing is joyful, not grim. For it means a new life and a new living, and a sweet, closer contact with Him. Oh, the solace there is in the knowledge life is life, and it will always be. And it's simply a change of direction when we sail on His ship out to sea. And the tears that we shed for our loved ones are in truth shed for us left behind. For it hurts to give up to the Master, though we know He is gentle and kind. So believe in His great and good wisdom, trust in Him as you patiently wait. On His ship, God is ever the pilot, and the one you have loved is His mate. That was that, and then she wanted me to read this, entitled Christopher. Having a son like you was knowing the joy of watching the boy you were turn into the man you became. And it was finding, as you grew up, the proud feelings for you as you never stopped growing. Having a son like you was looking back on all our family time that were made so much happier because you were there, and it's looking forward to missing you in the times yet to come. Having a son like you was knowing a special kind of closeness, a closeness we seldom talked about because there was no need, because it was always there, growing closer with the years. Having a son like you was wanting you to have the kind of life you really wanted, for no one knew better than you what road you needed to follow and what goal you wanted to pursue. Having a son like you brought a satisfaction like no other. It came from sharing your dreams and hopes and being as happy as you were when they were realized. Having a son like you meant wishing one wish above all others, that you were happy. And that's what I was wishing for you, son, the kind of happiness you truly, truly deserved always. For it's always been a rich experience, a source of pride, a special joy and pleasure having a son, having a really wonderful son like you. That was from Marge, Chris's mother. I just kind of wanted to close out because Lisa, you're absolutely right. I was laughing because I wanted to throw that into that kind of annoying habit of for those of you who went to a movie with Chris, he would stay. until the absolute bitter end, and watched every single thing roll by. And I'd start, when I saw this happen at first, I'd look at him in amazement and think, okay, how are you fucking reading all these things? Come on. And he would just, he would attempt, and his eyes would absolutely attempt to do that role with them. And I thought back a little bit about what the origin of that habit was. And I remember this because he said, we've been to a movie and we've seen the title and we've seen the marquee, and we probably got attracted to the movie because maybe there was a certain performer in it or something like that. And he said, these are all the people that helped make this thing happen. The best boy and the grip and the caterer and all of the people that brushed the tracks of the vehicles that needed to get swept so that it looked like it was a desert and not some movie set. And he said, I want to stay to celebrate who these folks are. And these events, these kinds of things, when people gather and they celebrate someone and they say goodbye to someone and things like that, Chris was at every one of them. He would go to these things, honestly, even to events where there were people he was saying goodbye to that I'm not sure if in my heart I always felt they were the best people. But he would go and he would celebrate them and he would say goodbye respectfully and with that kind of grace that you mentioned, Dave and Lisa. And I think it's so wonderful that you're here. And it meant so much to him that you called him your brother. It really, really did. Family was important to him, and community was important to him. And I think I should probably stop because I'm getting a little verklempt here, but it means so much to him that you're here. This was what he lived for. He celebrated every single thing in these neighborhoods and everything. He found joy and something to celebrate. And I'm glad that you're all here. Thank you.